And, ABC made a different choice.
Yeah.
They decided that clearly, and I was on in their meetings and I haven't talked to them since, but it seems as an observer that they made a decision that Donald Trump is a unique character in American politics and he uniquely lies.
That's CNN host and paid propagandist Dana Bash reluctantly admitting that the presidential debate was biased towards Harris in the most weaselly way possible. Welcome to Nurk News, I'm Nurkish, and for some reason, Dana Bash has been doing a series of interviews where she inadvertently says more about her profession than she intends to. Here she is attempting to make excuses for ABC while stating what we all know is true even before the debate started.
We decided just to be traditional, and like you said, you can make an argument for an hour on either side of that. And, ABC made a different choice.
Yeah.
They decided that clearly, and I was on in their meetings and I haven't talked to them since, but it seems as an observer that they made a decision that Donald Trump is a unique character in American politics and he uniquely lies. And that even though Kamala Harris was clearly prepared to call him out on that, they thought that it was their job to do it as well. And like I said, you can make an argument for that also, but I do journalistically, it's keeping an even hand as much as you can.
Yes.
Understanding that you're not dealing with two of the same individuals who don't approach the truth in the same way.
Yeah.
is important, but very tricky.
You know, the mental gymnastics these people have to do to excuse their biased behavior never ceases to amaze me, especially when you consider how often they've been caught fabricating stories, deceptively editing content, omitting stories entirely, and feeding softball questions to their Democrat overlords. Speaking of which, here's Bash admitting that her interview with Harris was pathetic and making excuses as to why she couldn't do her job properly.
Now, as is often the case these days, whenever there's a big high-profile interview like this, you took some heat from the left, as you noted, some heat from the right. What did you make of that criticism? I mean, the right, their problem was that you didn't necessarily, they felt, hold her down on some of her more nebulous policy positions. What would you say to that?
I think you just said, I tried.
Right.
I mean, you can't force somebody to answer a question. And I asked to follow up. I tried to get more into the nitty gritty and get the answer. And sometimes, I mean, my experience in doing interviews is that once you ask once, fine, twice, fine, three times, if you don't get it as a clear answer, that's kind of your answer.
Yeah, that was one of my next question, actually. How persistent do you feel like you should be in these kind of interviews where you're speaking with a vice president or a presidential candidate? Did you ask 10 times if you need to, or does it depend on the question?
It totally depends on the question, on the place you are in the calendar, on the importance of it. There are a million factors. It's really subjective.
Yes, that's obviously true. We can all recall how many times she pressed Harris in that interview and how constantly that same standard is applied to conservatives. Oh wait, that's not true at all. CNN and pretend journalists constantly badger Republicans to get useful sound bites they can then feed to their other shows, and the interviews usually have a 50-50 chance of ending up in a heated argument, depending on how much backbone the guest has. But let me know what you think. Do Democrats and Republicans approach truth differently enough to warrant the media bias they receive? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. That stuff really does help us out. Until then, this has been Nurk News. Thanks for watching. Bye!